Today's story start off with the Daizumi household. This heavy-set fella is Ella, a 24-year-old woman child who thinks she's a princess. Then we introduce to her 17-year-old brother Brendan and his pet monkey Speedy.
Hey Ella, your fat ass is hogging the couch. Move over.
As a princess, I refuse to listen to you. Therefore, you must sit on the floor like a peasant and watch princess movies with me.
No way. Disney princess movies are for baby girls. Speedy and I want to watch Attack on Titan.
How dare you speak to a princess like that, you filthy peasant? Prepareth to be thrown to the dungeon.
I don't know what is more retarded, you wearing the tiara or the way you speak.
Did you know that if you kiss a frog, the frog turns into a prince?
Oh, grow up, Ella. What a bunch of baloney. Fairy tales aren't real, everyone knows that.
That's a lie. They are real. They are real. I can prove it to you.
Well, getting a salmonella isn't a fairy tale, it's a real disease.
While Ella and Brendan are having their sibling squabble, Ethan and Martha Daizumi trust to mediate the argument.
Ella, stop squabbling with your brother.
Thank you, Mom. I was trying to watch TV with Speedy.
Nobody is watching TV. You kids are spending too much time on your screens. That's why kids are becoming stupid nowadays.
I'm sorry, but the Cadillac won't be available until mid-February.
Ethan, get off that phone. Your kids are staying indoors for too long.
Honey, I was in the middle of speaking to a client who is planning on buying a car since his family is moving here from New Jersey. If you excuse me, I'll be at the car dealership. Play safe, kids.
Okay, your father was no help, but you both need to go outside for at least an hour.
Come on, Mom. I get you're like 52, but why do you think we Gen Z kids are stupid even though Gen Alpha kids are worse than us?
Because things were better in my time. The only screens we have are Saturday morning cartoons. After that, we play outside until sundown.
As a princess, I command you to let us stay inside a house and watch Disney princess movies.
How fucking dare you give me orders? Go the fuck outside, you let other Gen Z nuts.
Alright, geez. We will play outside like kids from the 80s.
Zippy-dee-doodah. I can't wait to show you a frog turning into a prince.
First off, stop saying zippy-dee-doo whatever the fuck princesses say. Second of all, you sound like an idiot.
No, I don't. I'm serious. A frog can turn into a prince. I'll show you, then we'll see who's laughing.
Yeah, sure. Now get your filthy fat face off me, you disgusting piece of filth.
When that frog turns into a prince, he will throw you to the dungeon.
Hey Speedy, I'm willing to bet that the princess magic wouldn't work on a fat ass that doesn't use deodorant. What do you think? Yeah, I agree with you, Speedy.
Wow, a frog. Once I kiss it, it will turn into a handsome prince. Hey the little froggy, I'm Princess Ella. I can't believe that mean witch turned you into a frog. Don't worry baby, once you turn into a prince again, I can cuddle you all that night in my castle. There, now you should turn into a prince any minute. Oh no, I don't feel so good. I feel all. Oh no, what is happening to me?
Oh my god, Ella, you got a bad case of Salmonella Fitzgerald. See, I told you not to kiss that frog. Frogs don't magically turn into princes. Gee, how did you even survive high school?
Is there a way to fix this? I look hideous.
I don't know, but I'm afraid I have to tell Mom that you got Salmonella Fitzgerald.
It feels good watching my soap opera while the kids are out of the house.
Mom, there's an emergency.
Brendan, it hasn't been 1 hour. What are you doing home so early?
Well, the thing is, Mom.
Oh my god, are we being robbed?
No, you idiot. That's my big sister. She looks like that because she has a bad case of Salmonella Fitzgerald.
Oh my, how did this happen?
I wanted to kiss a froggy so that it can turn into a prince then. I want to turn back into a beautiful princess.
Brendan, you and Speedy should go to Professor Triple Extra Large to get the antidote for Salmonella Fitzgerald.
Amen, not this asshole. This bastard hated me when I had his math and science class in grade 5 and 6. I can't believe you hired that quack as my tutor over the summer before my 6th grade year. All he does is insult me just because I'm not good at math. He's mostly discriminatory against kids with learning disability.
Well, if you don't like him, then the only option is that your sister would lick a chimp. I mean, where would you find a chimp on a Saturday afternoon?
You're right, Mom. Where would I find a chimp on a Saturday afternoon? Speedy, can you let my sister lick you? Alright, fine. We will go to Professor Triple Extra Large.
Be careful, boys.
Just a minute. Well, if isn't Speedy and his dim-witted twin brother Brendan?
Hey Professor, we got a bit of a problem.
Why not have a seat while we talk, shall we?
Okay. But Speedy is my pet chimpanzee, not my twin brother.
Have a seat so that I can get you something to drink?
Sure, Professor. I'll sit down and we will talk.
Not you designate, I was talking to Speedy. I'll be right back with some banana juice.
See, Speedy. I told you this guy hates me all these years. I mean, I have probably improved in my math skills after 6 to 7 years.
I'm back. I brought you your favorite, banana juice.
Hey, what about my drink? I'm the guest too, remember?
Maybe you can get your own drink if you weren't born retarded.
When can you get the fact that I've changed? Can't you treat me like an adult? I mean, I will be an adult in July. Look, Professor, we don't have time for this. My sister got a bad case of Salmonella Fitzgerald and my mom asked me to get the antidote for it.
Yeah, right. Always the same excuse like you did when you were 11 about your big sister eating your math homework. You still make childish excuse. How embarrassing. Do you agree, Speedy, that Brendan is a sap? Oh my, why didn't you tell me that Ella got a bad case of Salmonella Fitzgerald? I bet this silly boy must have told her to kiss the frog. Like, imagine taking advantage of a childish person.
Actually, I have been trying to tell her.
That frogs turn into a handsome prince? See how retarded you are. What a bad big brother you are.
Oh my god, for the last fucking time. Ella is my big sister and it was her idea, not mine. Ella is 24 and I am fucking 17.
Still your fault though. You could've looked out for her like good brothers do.
You know what? I don't want to waste my time arguing with a complete idiot. I just need to atone my quote-unquote irresponsibility of my big sister by curing her.
Alright, Speedy, follow me to my lab so that I can give that stupid brother of yours the antidote. This right here is the room of contagious diseases and their cure. Brendan, even though it's your fault for letting your sister kiss that frog, I'm going to give you the antidote right now.
Thank you, Professor. Does that mean you can stop treating me like an idiot from now on?
No, you're still a retard and no one likes you. Not even your mother. Not even a single person, or two, or even a billion likes you.
Once again, thank you for your shitty opinion just because I was bad at math in 5th grade. We're back. We brought the antidote. Alright sis, I got the antidote from that jerk-ass Professor Triple Extra Large. All you have to do is to drink it and you will turn back into your so-called beautiful self.
Zippy-dee-doo-dah, I'm back into my beautiful self.
Don't think this is going to be a happy ending just because you are cured from Salmonella Fitzgerald disease.
Ella. How fucking dare you kiss a frog hoping to turn into a prince? I mean, who would want a fat piece of fruit like you?
I can't believe you got me all the trouble to go to Professor Triple Extra Large's house just to get insulted by him.
That's it. You are grounded for the rest of the month. Go to your room right fucking now.
Honey, I'm home. Where's my food?
Sorry, I didn't have time to make it. I just grounded our daughter.
That's okay. I was about to take the entire family to Disneyland.
We can go without Ella. I mean, she's too old for Disneyland, so she doesn't need it.
Okay then. So what's the tea, Brendan? What did you and Ella do while you were outside?
Funny story, Dad. Ella was just
The moral of this video is that you shouldn't kiss frogs because they don't turn into a handsome prince. You will be infected with salmonella. Do not be an idiot and attempt that at home.